Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Araelita Nurjana from 7 Group Biology Education, and I am responsible as moderator. I am here today to present about structure and transport in plants. Today's topic is of particular interest to those of you who want to learn more about plants. The purpose of this presentation is so that all of you can understand the type of transport in plant and their mechanism. In my presentation, I will focus on 5 major issues. Next, I will introduce our team, namely Tasnim Salsabila, Tias Salsabila, Nahda Mufida Diati, and Muhammad Dikrillah. Concern. What is transport in plants? Plant transportation is the process of taking and transporting substance to all parts of the plant's body. In lower plant absorption of water and nutrient dissolved in it is carried out through or part of the body. The second point is explained by Tia Salsabila.
Thanks to the moderator for allowing me to present the material. I will explain the material about the types of transportation in plants. Types of transport in plants. In higher plants, there are two ways of transporting air and mineral salts obtained from the soil, namely extravascular and intravascular. Extravascular transport. Extravascular transport is the transport of air and mineral salts outside the transport vessels. This transport goes from cell to cell and usually in a horizontal direction. Air transportation starts from the epidermis of the root hairs, enters the cortex layer, then to the endodermis and reaches the vascular bundle. Extravascular transport can be divided into two: apoplast-tract transportation and simplast-tract transportation. Apoplast-tract transportation. Free infiltration of groundwater or passive transport through all non-living parts of plants such as cell walls and intercellular spaces. Water through this pathway cannot reach the xylem because it is blocked by the endodermis, which has a thickened cell wall called the Casparian band. To penetrate this barrier, water must be pumped to pass through the endodermal cells. The movement of water eventually becomes the simplest pathway because it passes through the permeating cells or successor cells. Simplast-tract transportation. Movement of water and mineral salts through the living parts of plant cell such as the cytoplasm and vacuola through the plasmodesma. In the simplest pathway, water can reach the xylem and even the central cylinder. The second type of transportation is intravascular transport. Intravascular transport is the process of transporting substance that occur in the transport vessels, namely in the xylem and phloem. The process of transportation in conveyance occurs vertically. Air and mineral salts will be transported to the leaves through the wood vessels, xylem. Meanwhile, the transportation of products from the leaves to all parts of the plant is carried out by the sieve tubes, phloem, and is also known as translocation. That's all I can say. Thank you and sorry for the shortcomings.
The third point is explained by Muhammad Dikrillah.
Okay, thank you moderator who is giving me the opportunity. Here we will continue the material about transport network in plant transport. Vascular tissue is one of the permanent tissues group belonging to the vascular green plant Thaurophyta. This tissue is also called faucet and serves as the main channel for the transportation of the nutrients needed in vital plant processes. There are two groups of transport networks based on the direction of nutrient flow, where vessel xylem transport fluids and nutrients the lipids. The source can come from the main one, or from other parts of the plant. The such types phloem transport the product of photosynthesis, especially the sugar sugars and other substances from the leaves to other parts of the plant body. Thanks. I will return to the moderator.
The next point is explained by Nahda Mufida.
Thanks to moderator for the opportunity. In this part of my presentation, I did like to talk about absorption of liquid by plants. Plants obtain materials from the environment to live in the form of oxygen, carbon dioxide, water, and nutrients. The mechanism of the absorption process can take place due to the process of imbibition, diffusion, osmosis, and active transport. Below is an explanation of the absorption mechanism as follows. First, imbibition. Imbibition is the infiltration of water into the space between the cell walls, so that the cell walls will expand. For example, the entry of water on the seeds when germinating, and the beans are soaked in water for several hours. Second, diffusion. Diffusion is the motion of the molecule spreads from an area of high concentration or hypertonic to a low concentration or hypotonic. For example, taking oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide when breathing, spreading a drop of ink in water. Third, osmosis. Osmosis is the process of moving water from an area of low concentration or hypotonic to an area of high concentration or hypertonic through a semi-permeable membrane. Fourth, active transport. Transport across membranes using ATP energy involve the exchange of sodium and kalium ions, as well as a transporter protein that will transport sodium ions along with other molecules such as amino acid and sugars. Therefore, it can be concluded that the mechanism of the absorption of liquid by plants are included four processes: imbibition, diffusion, osmosis, and active transport. Thanks for coming.
Okay, the next point is explained by Tasnim Salsabila.
Okay, thank you. I will explain the transportation mechanism. The transport mechanism is, of course, in plant consists of the transportation of water and mineral to the light for photosynthesis and the distribution of photosynthesis products to all parts of the plant's body. A. Water and mineral transportation. Transport of water and material salt in plants start from the roots to the leaf to be used as photosynthesis material. One capillary power xylem fossil found in plant are considered as capillary tubes. Water will rise toward the water vessel as a rule of the attention for between the font first wall and the water molecular to root comprehensive chain. the comprehensive stand of role, of course, because of the difference in water concentration between groundwater and liquid in the xylem channel. So water concentration is high, so the also of course into cell. 3. Relaxation. The Jolly theory states that the water rises to the top because of the pull from above, namely when the leaf do transportation. Water always moves from wet areas to dry areas. 4. Axis of living cell. The Vita theory states that the pace of water from the roots to the leaf can be carried out because of the living cell around the xylem, such as Forelli cell and bird radius.
Last point about the excretion of fluids by plants. 1. Transpiration, the release of water in the form of water vapor through the stomata and cuticle into the free air. Evaporation. Transpiration occurs due to several factors including external factors, 1. Humidity, 2. Air temperature, 3. Light intensity, 4. Wind velocity, 5. Groundwater content wind. Internal factor. 1. Size, area of leaves, 2. The thickness of the leaf, 3. The presence or absence of a waxy layer on the leaf surface, 4. Number of stomata, 5. Number of root hair. Okay, that is all from us. If you have any question, feel free to interrupt me at any time. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.